The Tigers played their most complete game of the season and dispatched Arkansas 34-10 in Fayetteville. We're breaking it down on the Hannacast.
The Hannacast, a weekly LSU football film study with Charles Hannagriff and former LSU tight end Richard Dickson. Now to break down the Tiger tape, here's Charles and Richard.
All right, glad to have you with us here. I'm Charles Hannagriff along with former Tiger Richard Dickson. Richard, LSU was in what everybody agreed, pretty much everybody universally agreed, was a tough spot, coming off an emotional win against Ole Miss. Arkansas was coming off of a bye, home game at night. Even though Arkansas had a big win against Tennessee, it was 2 weeks before. And so Fayetteville has always been a difficult place for LSU to play, a lot of close games over the years. We thought LSU was in for a real dogfight. Instead, they broke open a close game in the third quarter and really coasted here.
Yeah, I mean, the defense or the offense started fast. They go and score on their first drive. Scored on the first 4 possessions. You know, the only knock I'd say is, you know, you get 3 or 4 field goals in a row that you want to convert to touchdowns. But I mean, the defense made timely stops. They only allowed 1 touchdown in the last 6 quarters. It really looks like this team's coming together, and everybody's starting to find out who they are on defense.
Maybe I shouldn't say coasted. This was a hard-fought win, and when they were in a 16-10 game in the third quarter, Whit Weeks and Major Burns made a couple of really big plays that swung it. LSU went up 2 and then 3 scores, and then took it in the last drive, the last meaningful drive of the game. One of those, it was kind of like a Les Miles-esque drive. 14 plays, length of the field, 8:22 off the clock. 12 of the plays were runs, and just took the life right out of Arkansas.
No, I mean, that's what you want to see from a team that go out there and close it in the fourth quarter. You got Whit Weeks, who gets the pick on the one and carries it to the 2-yard line, get a 1-run score. The next series, they get the ball back. Whit makes a stop on first down. Burns make a stop on second down, and Whit gets the sack on third down. They punt it, and then we start the long drive. I mean, it's just the way you want to close out games.
I thought this was the best that LSU had run the football all
No
year.
doubt.
And with the defense having come around the way it is, they keep getting better. This is a far cry from the team that started the season in Las Vegas with a loss to USC. You can kind of see just those two teams. LSU has been ascending ever since. USC has been descending. If those teams played again today, I would take LSU quite happily. But be that as it may, the Tigers have put themselves in good position. We'll talk about the big picture ramifications here in a little bit. Garrett Nussmeier in this game, it's not this monster statistical game, but it was one where LSU was very efficient on third down, made a lot of key completions. They were able to have some offensive balance. And, yeah, okay, he's always going to be a little bit too aggressive with 1 or 2, but he got away with a couple in this game.
No, he got away with a few, but like you said, he managed the game. Anytime they were in a crucial third down situation, he made the right decision. He just kept the flow of the offense. I mean, you had drives of 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 6 minutes. You got the 8-minute drive, and they just methodically moved the ball down the field and kept the ball out of their hands. I think they finished up with like a 39-21 advantage on the time possession.
Damian Ramos makes all 4 of his field goals, and they got points on almost every drive that meant something. The one big takeaway that was a negative in this game was the penalties.
Yeah.
And when you have that many false starts, listen, it was loud there, but it wasn't any louder than South Carolina. It's not louder than some of the places that they've been in the past. So this is a focus issue, I thought.
It's a tough spot. I mean, you heard Brian Kelly talk about it. It's the offense in whole. You're looking at one person jumping, but it's being in rhythm. The center double clutch on a couple balls will show you. And that's just communication when you're getting up there. Nuss is trying to get them into the right play. They're trying to be synchronized in the calling, and these guys were just a little bit off tonight.
We're brought to you by Marucci Sports. Check out the Hitter's House at 5801 Segan Lane. Membership rates, 24/7 access to members-only batting cages and bullpen cages, have reservation opportunities, 15% off your retail store discount, and some more. They're adding more and more to their retail outlets every single day. Of course, you can get all of the Marucci aluminum and composite bats available at the Hitter's House. MarucciSports.com, founded and operated by current and former big leaguers. They'll get you what you need at Marucci Sports. So let's get started here. The first play we're going to show you is a deep ball to C.J. Daniels, who came back, had an LSU career high with 7 catches in this game. They had missed him in the Ole Miss game. This pass isn't complete, but it does draw pass interference on Arkansas.
This might be Nussmeier's best throw of the night. It was really good, well executed. What he does in his drop back, the way he moves the safety, you couldn't ask for anything better. And we're talking about the deep plays. He moves the safety with his eyes and gets this wide opening. It's a too high D.
You pointed out to me that he drops back reversed on this play. You'll look back at it. He drops back like he is a left-handed quarterback.
And you'll see a great shot from it from the end zone view. Just by him doing that and looking off the left, he moves the safety off the mark, which gives him the room to throw the ball.
So he did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Okay. He didn't just get kind of turned around here. They draw the pass interference. Let's watch. What are we looking at here?
Just watch him right now. He's got the pre-read. He knows what he's doing right now. He gets the guy, and I think this is a play, gets him in motion. But his eyes, his drop back left, he moves the deep safety. We'll see in the wide view.
Williams is a single back to his left.
So he determines man right there. And watch the drop back. I'll run it back again real quick because I think it shows you real well. When he drops back left, watch the safety. He is scooting off the hash. And what he's trying to do right now, CJ is playing they're playing a cover 2 right here. He's going to beat this guy by him dropping back that way, and the safety slides to the left. He just opens the gap to throw the ball to CJ.
Let's run this back from the beginning. All right, let's watch
where he starts and where he goes, the safety number 8. I mean, it's beautifully done the way he widens the guy. He just pushes him off that mark. He starts looking that way. Perfectly. To me, it's Nussmeier's best throw. I mean, it's a dime. The cornerback has to tackle CJ to prevent it. But you're going to get cover 1. Watch him move him off the hash. He widens him, and it just opens up that gap. I mean, it's a perfectly thrown ball. Guy just grabs his arms.
What do you think the safety was thinking when he looked at him dropping back left?
Did they switch quarterbacks?
Oh, well, okay, so have you seen the Rocky movies?
Yeah.
Okay, in the second Rocky movie, he teaches him to fight as a right-handed fighter. You know, Rocky was a southpaw, and he comes out for the fight, and he's fighting right-handed, and everybody freaks out because he's trying to throw his opponent off. Like, wait a minute, the southpaw's fighting right-handed. That's what I thought of when you said that.
I caught it the third time I rewinded. I was like, what is he doing? But it works. The safety moves.
All right, so we move forward. Trey'Dez Green in this game played 42 snaps. He had played 38 snaps the entire season. They moved him out to wide receiver. We talked last week about what can you teach him in a week that you can feel comfortable with. Well, apparently quite a lot because 42 plays. You want to talk about, hey, how are they different from earlier in the season? Well, this guy can be an impact guy. Now, this is an incompletion in the end zone, but you wanted to talk about this play.
Yeah, it's just the way that they're going to use him. And early in the first half, they targeted him 3 times. He was the guy they were trying to get the ball to. They had plays scripted in there for him. And this is another one of those plays which, if you watched last week's show on the touchdown Trey'Dez caught, he doesn't run the best route, but his length gets him open. This is another one I think that if they were practice a little bit more, the further he gets into it, if he stems the safety a little bit more, it's an easier throw on Nuss. And I think just by him leaking, it messes up the timing.
All right, let's watch the play. Line of scrimmage with 10-yard line.
He's going to come in motion, and what he really needs to do right here, this guy's going to come out and cover him, but he's got to sell the safety that he's going deep. The way he just bends over the cross, I think he gets there too soon. You see him and Lacey too close to each other, and it allows that safety just to suck to his hip. And I'll show you, I think it's the very next play, what Lacey does is what he needs to learn how to do. He's got to give some type of vertical movement to where the safety doesn't know if he's going left or right. He can go in or out. When he just does the bend like that, it's kind of like a lazy route, and he hasn't been asked to run a lot of routes, and this is a good view for it. If he stems him vertical, this safety thinks he could run the corner, he could run an out, he could run a hitch. He's got to get vertical right there to push him. But when he just bends it like that, I think it messes up the timing. And, Nuss could have gotten rid of the ball a little bit earlier, but I think that he expected him to be hesitant and then break across the middle, which would have opened it up more.
We're brought to you by Lake Urgent Care with 25 years of experience dedicated to providing quality care close to home. Lake Urgent Care treats minor illnesses and injuries for ages 3 months and up at 17 convenient locations, including Baton Rouge, Hammond, Livingston, and Ascension Parish. Plus, they offer occupational health and weight loss solutions. A seamless extension of Our Lady of the Lake. Patients can access care from anywhere with the MyChart patient portal. Our urgent care centers are open 7 days a week. You can walk in, check in online, or schedule a virtual care visit at lakeurgentcare.com. All right, we move forward here a little bit. This got put into the film by accident, so we couldn't figure out how to take it out. So we're just going to show you this extra point. Nice job, Ramos.
Yeah, everybody blocked. Everybody did their job. That's all I really got to say about that.
This one kind of got stuck in there by accident. So the extra point was good.
You can see it from tight view.
Yeah, from the.
I didn't realize you got Savion Jones as your wing back, Campbell on the right side.
We're learning new stuff. Yeah, this is not something that we ordinarily take a look at, but
very interesting though. Now I say that now that I'm watching it, I don't think I've ever seen two defensive linemen as the wing backs. You got Shan on the left side, Savion Jones on the right side.
Maybe we should have put it in there on purpose. All right, this next play got everybody's attention, but you called it a power eye defense because we don't know what else to call it.
You
right?
got a center, a quarterback, a fullback, and a running back. It's the only thing I can come up with, but it's very interesting. And I didn't realize this at the game. What they do out of this formation is pretty cool. I mean, you're going to have both ends. They're going to start slant in. They're going to suck the tackles in. Shan's going to run right up the middle, and it kind of brings these two. Witt and I think it's Xavier Atkins. They start rushing the A-gap, and they bend. I mean, it's a really cool design. They play zone on the backside, and I think that, to be executed perfectly, any other quarterback, this is a sack. This guy's a really good athlete. They get around the end. He drops. I think he loses 15 yards just to get out of it, and then Shan makes a really smart veteran play. He doesn't attack the quarterback. He gets flat and makes him have to run the ball.
What's the advantage of lining up the first man in this defensive formation is 4 yards off the ball?
I haven't figured that part out yet, but what I will say is it's a timing deal. These guys are all trying to fill it out. So, the tackles, they know their assignment. They're going to be on the two ends right here. But these three got to figure out who's coming into which gap. And by slanting the ends, it does really cause havoc. And our two wide guys get home free.
You talked about how when you played, sometimes you guys would help out the interior offensive linemen if they weren't as experienced. If you come up and you're let's say they would have had a tight end, they don't have one close to the line here, but if you'd come up and saw this, what would you do?
We're gonna fan it. We're gonna gap block. Everybody get to a gap and just see who shows up.
All right, let's watch this run out here.
It's really, I didn't see it the way it gets home. Atkins maybe wants to go higher, but another quarterback doesn't have the athleticism to flatten back. And then what Shan does, which is just a veteran move, he doesn't chase down the quarterback. He knows I cannot get there. He gets flat down the line of scrimmage and makes sure that he doesn't have an option. Watch him get flat.
Yeah.
A lot of guys would have taken that and he'd have beat him around the edge. But by staying flat, he could never set his feet and throw the ball.
If he gets up the field, there's a chance that Green might have made the first down here. It would have been a lot closer.
Watch the way they both slant in and they come around the end. It was a really cool design. But this was the most veteran smart play by Shan, getting flat down there and forcing him to keep the ball.
They ran this again later in the game. I don't know if it was as effective the second time because Arkansas had seen it, or can you make that adjustment?
I think you can make a play call against it. I mean, at that point, get rid of the ball quick.
What would you run? What would you audible to?
I'm just running quick slants, quick hits, get the ball out fast, and these guys, that those guys aren't covering, so the middle of the field is going to be open.
All right. This next play is in LSU territory at their 27-yard line. Aaron Anderson had another really nice night. This is a 3rd down and 7 play that we're watching.
And this is what we were talking about last year. This is night and day athleticism by Aaron Anderson. He didn't have this move last year, and he really wins on this route because if he doesn't beat his one-on-one route, this is a sack.
Let's watch the play. He's a slot on the near side.
He's a slot down here on the bottom side.
Yeah.
You're not going to get to see a really good route until you get to the wide view. But right here, the only problem we had, Emory gets beat inside, and I want to say, Dellinger gets beat on a swim move on the inside, which it's close. They're almost hitting the quarterback. If he doesn't get rid of the ball, if that guy's covered, it's a sack.
Well, let's watch here from the tight
view. So you get to see the blocking. Watch Emory kind of lose his inside. This guy comes down. I'm pretty sure it's the end. He swim moves, beats Dellinger inside. There's two guys in Nussmeier's face really quick.
Yep, both.
Rewind it. They both get beat inside. I mean, Emory just misses with his hands and slides. Good move by the DN, swimming him right here. But if he's not open, that's a sack. I mean, he's got to get rid of the ball now.
All right, when we look at the wide view, you're going to be able to tell us the route that Anderson's going to run.
So look at what he's got. He's going to get the leverage to where he's trying to take away the inside with Anderson over there on the left side. What he does is it just shows the athleticism he has. He gives him a little stutter, goes inside one step, and really gets held. It could have been a holding on defense.
What's the outside route?
The outside route's a go. He's running that guy
okay.
off.
All right, let's watch this here.
So we call this a jig route. He'd have two options, go inside or outside, depending on the leverage. He just knows he's got to get open on his man in coverage. So watch him goes outside. He takes away the outside. And this move he does right here with the little stutter, and it's just a quick, twitchy move that he didn't have last year. I mean, run it back one time real quick, because to me it's just very impressive. He knows he's got outside leverage. He gets the one step, and I think he really gets held on that, getting outside. But it's just a great play on a 3rd and 7.
Wasn't the only play he made in this game.
Yeah.
Later in the contest, he took one right off the ground, right off the shoe tops, and
I don't know if he could have slid a
hustled.
piece of paper through there.
LSU hustled up to the line. They didn't get a chance to review it. I'm kind of glad.
Yeah, because
it was close.
Yeah, it was a tough one. Like I said, it looks like it's on the ground, but I think he has control the whole time.
We're brought to you by Bayou Apparel, helping local businesses communicate their message since 2009. As one of only a few local LSU official licensees, Bayou Apparel offers the highest quality products to showcase your brand, whether you have an established one or a new one. Bayou Apparel design experts can help you create eye-catching designs that fit your company's message. They do logos, event T-shirts, and promotional items for your business. Call 225-928-9090 or go to the website at bayouapparel.com. This next ball is a missed deep ball where they were trying to target Kyron Lacey.
Yeah, and I just wanted to put this one on here because we saw this a week or two ago, and for some reason or another, Lacey and Nussmeier are not on the same page on these deep routes. Nussmeier's wanting to throw it vertical. Lacey's kind of got the guy beat, wants him to throw it out there and let him run across the field and catch it. And it's one of those that it's just another play that this should have been a touchdown. I think we ended up getting a field goal on the drive, but he's wide open. He wins his route. He does what I talked about with Trey'Dez Green earlier. And we show the wide view, the way he stems the cornerback to make him push outside opens up the middle.
All right, from the 45-yard line of Arkansas. Lacey down at the bottom of your screen.
You get really good pocket there. He's got all the time in the day, but he's wide open. And I guess run it back real quick because you can kind of see where Lacey changes his angle. Lacey wants to run this up the hash and bend it over. When he throws the ball, he has to press back vertical. And they got so much open area over there, he's got to throw it out to the hash.
Remind me, did they not run this same play
2 weeks ago?
Ole Miss game?
Yeah, it was Ole Miss.
Except Lacey was on the other side. And Nussmeier's throw takes him back towards the center of the field, where if he leads him, he's got him there.
I couldn't remember if it was Ole Miss or the week before.
It was Ole Miss,
but it was very.
I remember you
similar.
said throw it to the logo. The 100 Years of Tiger said throw it to the logo.
Yeah.
It was out on the hash instead of in the middle.
And this is the same thing that happens. It's just them not being on the same page where he wants to take the ball. He gets the route. He wins. Nuss has to throw it. I would say that he's told to throw it over here on this hash, but he throws it at the goalpost, and it just kind of makes him get off rhythm. And you'll see it really good here. But watch what he does with the inside leverage. This is what Trey'Dez Green has to do. Lacey sells it deep to make him flip his hips, and then he breaks it across his face. But he throws that ball out here, just lets him run under it and catch it. Throwing it back over the middle, it just kind of throws him off.
All right, if this is a dumb question, go ahead and tell me. But this safety, right in the center of the field, isn't he responsible for deep middle?
No, no doubt. He bites on the play fake.
Okay.
He comes up, it holds him just long enough to where Lacey gets behind him. But the biggest thing to me right here is Lacey knows how to win one-on-one. He presses that guy vertical, makes him sell a corner route or go route, makes him flip his hips, then he breaks his face over the back of the middle. And it just does a great job. And this is something Trey'Dez will get better at because that's how you win those routes. But Nuss has to throw the ball out here. Let him run over it and catch it where he can see it without pressing back vertical.
All right, so when we talk about chances for big plays, that was another chance for a big play. All right, we threw one of the false starts in here, okay? We have certain plays available to us and certain plays not. If you're wondering how we pick these things, we pick the ones that are available to us that we can get. The false start was 107, so tell me why you picked this one.
This one's just a young center, loud atmosphere. And like we talked about, everybody wants to stay on rhythm when you're talking about the call. He wants to say it the same way, be in the same cadence, the same patterns. And this one where the center gets nervous, he double clutches the ball real quick.
All right.
Which I think it worked out because I think Thomas would have gotten blown up on this play. But if you watch real quick, I know it's close. he just slides it twice. He starts it, stops, and then snaps it.
We see it better from the okay.
You gotta. He moves. You can just watch the ball. He moves his hand slightly, then snaps it.
Okay. Any chance that he heard something?
I think
is Nussmeier initiating with the clap here?
I think it's the fact that he didn't hear something.
Okay.
He's on rhythm. He's waiting for it. He goes, ready. Like he's thinking Nussmeier, ready. He said, hut. And Nussmeier might have said ready and paused to look at something. And he just got out of rhythm a little bit.
All right. You say Thomas is going to get.
Yeah, so they're going to run a little swing option right here. I think this is the only time CJ misses his block. You got the look you're wanting to in this play. You're going to have everybody one-on-one with the block. You're going to get kick out, block down, but it stops soon. This guy, Daniels, misses his block. He could have got blown up quick.
Yeah. Okay, so
he saved a rib shot.
Cost him 5 yards, and it was a frustrating part of the one frustrating
That's
part of the night.
That's the one thing that just bothered me because, look, I get it. You know, 1 or 2, first drive, second drive, maybe a big moment in the third quarter. But
and they got multiple guys, too.
Yeah, not 7. You had a couple on the center. You had Campbell get one. Everybody took their share in this.
We're brought to you by the law offices of O.C. Brown. Dana Brown and his team of attorneys have attended to our legal needs for quite a long time. You can trust them, too. They've carried on Dana's father, O.C.'s legacy for the last 30 years. So whether you've been in a car accident or you need other legal assistance, the law offices of O.C. Brown should be your first and only call. Truly your law firm for a lifetime, and there's never a charge for that initial consultation. Call 225-343-1111 or on the web. It's O.C. Brown, O-S-S-I-E Brown.com, and right down from the offices of O.C. Brown, Town Square Pizza. Get in and get some hot, delicious square pizza downtown Baton Rouge. You can have it. It's going to be made right there in front of you. But if you're working downtown, you got a limited amount of time for lunch. You're going to be able to get in and get out in a timely manner in very generous portions. We're always bringing some home from Town Square Pizza in downtown Baton Rouge. Okay, Caleb Jackson played a bigger role in this game. Last week we only saw him for one play, or one carry, I should say, and that was the 4th down. He played more of a role in this game, and
Caleb,
that's not this play. I'm sorry. This is for we're gonna look at a deep catch by Arkansas that Caleb Jackson plays the next play.
Yeah,
play. Sorry, I got out of order here. This is a deep catch by Arkansas.
Yeah, and that's just well covered. You know, I wish we could have shown you the other defensive plays that put the pressure on him, but this is a time where they got Green just out of rhythm. He really had a pocket to stay inside of, but you get Shan looping around. He sees him out the corner of his eye. He panics, rolls out. He makes a good play. Everybody's covered really well down the field, but the Arkansas receiver does a great job working back to the quarterback. Okay,
let's watch here.
So he really doesn't get a rush, but he sees Shan come right here and panics. What happened? Shan could have probably got there. Pin got thrown into him that blocked the gap up, but just the pressure we had been getting in his face, it pushed him out of the pocket early.
Now let's watch the wide view here.
Shan works back around. He's probably going to hit that gap. Pin gets thrown in there. It pushes him out. And you'll really see from the deep view, everything's well covered. It looks like we're running a little cover 3.
All right, let me stop it here, and you can set the alignment.
You're going to run cover 3. Everybody's going to move. He's coming down. Sage's going over the middle. Everybody's dropping, and it's really well covered. But with the scramble out to the left side, number 5 does a great job just working back down to the ball.
There's something else I like about this play, but I want to watch it one more time before we point it out. Green's got his pocket.
Everybody's covered to that point. That quarterback, the receiver just does a good job working back in a scramble drill.
All right, here's what I like about this thing. I was most, and you can see it probably better from this view. Here's Jones, all right, 35. He drops into coverage, but he's able to come up when he sees Green commit towards the line of scrimmage, and he doesn't lose contain. Yeah. That was one of the things that really scared me about this game was Green getting out of the pocket, busting contain, and making plays both with his arm and with his feet. And Jones, man, that's a 280-pound cat there that's dropping into coverage and getting up. Yeah. That's not easy what he just did. At least it doesn't look easy.
And this isn't really the best play to illustrate. He did it all night. He covered that flat zone in his drops. He was there. He forced the guy not to be able to run. He made Green throw it. And look, I thought the pocket was pretty well. I didn't see why he scrambled other than you see Shan about to come free.
Those ends did a really good job. On the stat sheet, it may not show up that, they had.
This defense is getting better. We're now 33rd in the country in rushing. We're 18th in red zone defense. I wrote it down. They're getting better to 45th for tackles for loss, 7th in the country in sacks, 6th in the country in fumbles recovered. This D's really starting to make some plays.
I'm so impressed and happy for Savion Jones. The year he's having, man, he so much improved. You can tell he's put the work in the offseason. He dropped some weight. He looks quicker. He's definitely benefiting from Kevin Peoples. Both he and Swinson are.
He is looking like an NFL defensive end. He's just 10 times better than he was last year.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, this is the run that we're going to look at by Caleb Jackson. Again, he was more involved in this game. Had 5 carries. Was not really involved very much in the run game against Ole Miss. But this is a good run by Jackson.
To me, this is just his growth. This is the first time he showed me patience. He lets the blocks develop. He gets down there. It's really well blocked. Everybody makes their block except for DJ Chester. And I've said this multiple weeks. They got the center trying to work up the linebackers a lot. He's not that swift of the feet. The linebackers are beating him across the top. But the one thing I really like to show is when he does get beat, he doesn't quit. He works. He runs right past and works to the safety.
All right. This is Caleb Jackson, LSU on their own 39-yard line.
It's a 12-yard run that you move back into pistol. They make the adjustments right now. They see where he's moving back in, taking off. They have the good communication between the tackle and tight end. They get it sorted out. Campbell's going to work up to the linebacker. And what he does right there that you're going to see better on the tight view is he held that position to where the linebacker was in a two-way gap. He held it just long enough.
Let's look at this here. When Nussmeier's making this side adjustment, what does he see?
You're seeing the end come or the corner or whatever safety linebacker come down the edge. So you're getting heat right here. You got a guy press off. Right now he just paused enough for the lineman to sort it out. Where we're going to go, where we're going to block, and who's got who. And you see Campbell's going to turn his head over to Mason. They discuss it. He looks back out, and they know where they're going right now. He's working up. Pause it right there. Go back just a half step. This is where I think the patience here. He slow plays it to where he's going to press this gap a little bit. Look, that's where I'm talking about. Chester had that linebacker. He couldn't get up there fast enough, so he's going to make the move. But there's a two-way gap. Campbell and Taylor get their blocks right there. He presses just long enough to hold him instead of flying over, which allows him to hit the gap between Campbell and Taylor.
And 10 ends up in pursuit instead of being able to come up the field.
Yeah, I mean, because he's got to make a decision. Do I hit the gap now? I think just the way he slow plays it just long enough, 10 doesn't know which way he's going. And the one thing about Chester missing his blocking, look, that's a tough block on the center. He's one gap over. I think he's got a throw right there. I'd cut him. Be a lot easier to just throw my head in his legs. But he keeps working up to the safety, so he didn't quit on the play.
LSU ends up with a nice gain on the play. We're brought to you by Dependable Storage, now with 8 locations across Louisiana and 1 in Gulfport, Mississippi. New facilities in Slidell and Youngsville, matching any competitor's pricing at Dependable Storage. They'll offer convenient online rentals and payments. Free use of their moving truck for new rental move-ins, clean, secure, and conveniently located facilities. Check out the website at dependablestorage.com for locations, pricing, and rentals. As Skip Bertman always says, Dependable Storage wants your stuff. All right, the final play we're going to look at here is Sage Ryan. This is a PBU that was reviewed for targeting, but eventually not called targeting.
I think this is a big play, and I really wanted to show this because Sage Ryan, a lot of people just question like his tackling ability, his toughness, his wanting to put his head in there. He's kind of slow played a few things to where it didn't seem like he wanted contact. He plays this thing perfect. It's a little man free. He's over the top, and he does his job 100%. He's there to disrupt the pass. Everybody's covering man, and he lays the hit, which is perfectly clean. And you'll get to see on this. To me, it's nowhere close to a targeting. They throw the flags because it's such a violent hit, but he does everything he's supposed to. So you can be manned up all over. And this is the only play I think I recognized Zy Alexander. This first time, the only attempt I think they threw at him.
And because it was a penalty or review, they ended up not calling it as
I heard that there was no targets. I was like, no, there's one.
That's a statistical thing. All right, we're gonna get to see it.
Rewind that. I think that shows it, and maybe try to pause it right at the hit. All shoulder to his chest. Everybody, the announcers were about to make me come through the screen when they kept saying that this is targeting.
You get angry when you watch games.
Yeah, that's why my kids aren't allowed to know.
Right, I understand.
But when they're protesting for a targeting call on the screen, like, oh, he hit him with his head. He hit him with his head. He is square to the chest, square to the numbers. He can't help that the whiplash made the guy's helmet come down. But this is clean, and I think this is my favorite play from Sage Ryan I've seen.
And when we talk about a launch, okay, his foot's still on the ground.
He's still running through it.
I mean, he is thrusting up through the tackle, but
you have to do that.
Yeah, otherwise you're going to get run over.
Otherwise, sit there and stand still and me get hurt, or let me put a little bit of force behind it.
Yeah, when you talk about launch, you're talking about leading with the crown of your helmet, and in a lot of cases, leaving your feet.
This was LaRon Landry. This is what LaRon was known for. They threw at him. He busted up plays. He was going to give up his body. This is my favorite Sage Ryan play, just the way the physicality to go in there and bust up a big play because they're driving right now. They complete that ball, and I think he's got his hands on it. He's got his eye. He's going to complete that ball if Sage doesn't deliver the hit.
They would have called LaRon Landry for a lot of stuff that might not have been targeting, but looked
He
like it was.
Never finished a game
he
back in
hit
the
people
day.
so hard.
But I think the coverage is so well with this. They're going to roll us cover one, and he's just playing man free over there. He is the guy to play help. I don't think he realized he was hurt until later because he's pretty jacked up, and he's like, "Oh, my hip kind of hurts."
I would imagine that looked real. I don't mind them throwing the flag and doing a review there.
Yeah.
That's
what play
fine.
that reminded me of was in 09, the Chad Jones hit on the Arkansas guy in the backfield.
Yes.
Where both of the guys went down. It
Right.
was very similar. I got really reminiscent of 09, where it's a great hit, blows up the play, but both guys end up going down.
This is the system working, okay? This is Ryan picking out a target spot where he's in the chest. He's not going to the head. He's not leading with the crown. He's not launching, okay? Defenseless receiver. You were a receiver. Is this a defenseless receiver? He's running a route.
No, I mean, he makes the play. The only thing you can do is let him make the play. I mean, to me, I've had my head knocked off a million times when I was going to catch the ball, and I get that. Your job is to jar the ball loose, knock the ball loose. And I get also why they're throwing the flag. Things happen so fast. These guys are running 4-4, 4-5. Things are moving. When you see a violent hit, look, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 5 flags are thrown on this play. That's fine. But they made the right decision by going back to review it, seeing that it was a clean hit. He didn't launch. He didn't hit him in the head. He aimed at the chest, and everything worked out. I think this is how the rule's supposed to be played.
We tried to show you a little bit of everything. We showed you some of the run game. We showed you some of the pass protections. We showed you Trey'Dez Green. We showed you Aaron Anderson. We showed you this play. We showed you a couple of deep balls, one of them by Arkansas, one of them by LSU. Okay, 6-1, undefeated in the league. LSU and Texas A&M, the only 2 undefeated teams remaining in league play. The game's in College Station this Saturday night. I don't know that anybody felt exactly that this was going to be where LSU was in the middle to end of October. I said it the night of the post game in Las Vegas. Listen, the team will be different later in the season. We fall for this every year. It's like, well, they're not going to win another game. That's why I try to dismiss those questions in the post games. Like, I don't want to play 4 games ahead. Trey'Dez Green didn't play in that game. Not really. So Alexander didn't play in that game. Whit Weeks played in that game, but not like he played.
Snaps.
He played here. And by the way, the tipped interception was not available to us, so that's why we didn't show that play. But it was a hell of a play, and that was the point of the game where it could have swung. It was 16-10. Arkansas had the ball. If they go down the field and get a score there, then you're in a dogfight deep into the third quarter. He makes a tip. He makes the interception. They punch it in. The next drive, he and Major Burns, he makes a play on the run on first down. Burns on second down. On third down, they get the sack. And
the combo, I mean, on the very first play of the next drive, Burns forces the guy to cut back, allows Whit Weeks to make the tackle for no gain. The very next play, they run a pass. Burns hits him for a tackle for no gain. And the very next play, Weeks gets free on a sack. I mean, they ended the game in these 2 consecutive drives.
Yeah. So again, we have certain plays that are available to us and certain plays that are not. So that's why
Burns is so much better. I mean, they found his role. This defense is just getting better. And look, we would love to have Harold Perkins, but without him, these guys are stuck to one position instead of rotating. And I think these guys are just getting better, getting more comfortable, and knowing one role.
They also have shortened their rotations in the secondary, as Kelly promised he would after before the Ole Miss game. Everybody, they've got the 5 guys that they want back there.
There was 51 snaps in this play. I think most of those starting 4 right there in the secondary played 40 plus.
Yeah. Hey, do us a favor and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on the Hannacast. We keep growing every single week. Thanks to everybody for for doing that. We hope you're enjoying the product. Feel free to comment if you got any suggestions for us and stuff like that. We're happy to we're looking to
we read
improve.
the comments. We're looking at
We
it.
do.
This is new to us too. We're trying to make all the right adjustments.
We even had a laser pointer, just not
Great
quite.
idea. Does not work on a TV
just
screen.
so we're gonna have to go find a different laser pointer. But again, we hope that you enjoy what we got for you, and we'll be back next week taking a look at LSU and Texas A&M on the Handicap.